Hello everyone, my name is Bollinger and I'm co-founder and chief marketing officer of Holo-Light. And today I will talk about the industrial metaverse and how we here at Holo-Light unleash the potential of augmented and virtual reality. And today will be a very special presentation, as we will not just go through a variety of different PowerPoint slides, but instead we will step right into the industrial metaverse. So let's go. And as you can see, we are now in an augmented reality session. I have here my presentation, and here on the left side I have a few panels that I will need later on. So for now, let's have a look on the presentation, and I would like to introduce Holo-Light a bit more so that you better understand what we are doing. So, about Holo-Light. So we founded the company in 2015, and we are headquartered in Munich, Germany and in Innsbruck, Austria. And we just opened an office in the United States. We are now more than 65 people, and we really focus on augmented and virtual reality. So we are true experts in this area. And as you can see, we worked with some of the largest and biggest brands in the world. From the automotive sector, we have a few companies like BMW. Then we are working together with companies from the mechanical engineering sector, but also from healthcare and other industries. And we have also a great partner in South Korea. So let's jump to the next slide. And I would like to introduce XTRIPLE to you. XTRIPLE is a company from South Korea, and they are really great in augmented and virtual reality. They are real experts, and they work with a lot of passion in what they do, and we love to collaborate with them. If you have any questions and you would like to talk to a South Korean partner, then I can just highly recommend to get in touch with XTRIPLE. And I would like to talk a little bit about the evolution of computing. So all of you remember the times when we worked with computers, and in the last years we jumped directly into more mobile applications. So we worked with our smartphones and tablets. But today, we really jump right into the experiences. So augmented and virtual reality is definitely the next step, the next evolutionary step in the way we work with digital content. And smart glasses and handheld devices like smartphones and tablets are our entrance to this world. So here at Holo-Light, we work with augmented reality devices like HoloLens 2. We work with virtual reality devices like Meta Quest 2. But we also provide software for smartphones and tablets. And one of the main challenges and one of the key questions that we asked ourselves was, how do we get all those 3D data that we currently are using in a 2D environment, how do we get that data right into our mobile XR world? And the data that I'm talking about usually is very large in size and complex. If we think about BIM data, so building information modeling data, CAD data, 3D CAD models, but also point cloud data, so scans of our environment, healthcare data like 3D scans of our body, but also realistic game assets that we would like to use in AR/VR. The main question is, how do we get this data on mobile XR devices if they are so limited in terms of performance? So the question and the gap that we really want to close is that high quality XR experience that we all want to see and live versus the performance limitations of mobile XR devices. And this is what we are tackling here at Holo-Light. And the solution that we are providing is a real-time streaming solution of augmented and virtual reality apps. The solution and the streaming SDK that we're providing is called IZAR. And IZAR really streams entire AR or VR applications with the power of the cloud or on-premise service to mobile XR devices. So we are outsourcing the rendering process from local devices to way more powerful cloud servers or local servers. And this allows us to create much better AR and VR experiences. So I'd like to give you an example to underline what I was talking about. And the example is a virtual showroom. And as you can see here on the left side, we see a visualization of a car that is rendered locally on HoloLens 2. It looks a bit like a toy here. But if we add streaming, we have way more performance, and that allows us to use more realistic visual effects such as the mirroring on the surface of this car. And this is what streaming is capable of. And now let's go and see a video to better understand the difference. So in this video you can see the toy, and here it really looks like if it's a realistic car. And as you can see, the visualization experience is much higher, and also the number of polygons, so the complexity of 3D assets, can be increased drastically. And this really comes close to a really cool experience. So what are we doing with all this? Streaming provides huge potential to improve augmented and virtual reality applications, but our vision is to go even further. And this is why I would like to introduce XR Now to you. This is the industrial metaverse, our vision. So what we want to create is the most powerful immersive streaming platform, the industrial metaverse. And in order to get a better feeling for it, I have prepared another video for you. So enjoy it. So that's XR Now. And what does it need to really unleash the potential of AR and VR? It's a scalable platform. It's a simple way for users to access AR/VR applications. It's a global availability and one place where you can bring all your AR/VR applications together. And let's now have a closer look to better understand how XR Now works and how you can get also actually your AR/VR applications right into XR Now. So everything you need is actually an AR/VR application. It can be a training application, an engineering application, a remote support application, whatever you have. And you basically just have to add the ISOR SDK to create an application that can be used on XR Now. And XR Now is then the place that unites all AR/VR applications and where all kinds of users can access with their different AR/VR devices to that one platform. That's the way how they can step right into the industrial metaverse. And there are a variety of benefits that enterprises on the one hand, but also app users on the other hand, have by using XR Now. So first of all, enterprises benefit from a unified platform for mass rollouts. So you're not limited to just a certain amount of users. Then you benefit from that unlimited performance for XR devices, as XR Now can be set up in a cloud infrastructure. You have a global availability of all XR use cases, so no island solutions, everything is consolidated in one place. And app users benefit from a high quality app experience, because you can visualize your 3D content in high quality. You have a seamless 3D data pipeline, which means that you can connect your different tools and data to all kinds of AR/VR applications that are hosted on XR Now. And the connection to XR Now is very, very simple. So the simplicity for the user is a key component to make AR/VR a success. And next I would like to introduce one of our industrial metaverse applications, which is called ARES. ARES is the augmented reality engineering space, and it's a software which allows engineers and others to visualize and work with their own 3D CAD designs in AR. And there they have a variety of features to interact with the 3D content. And actually, to demonstrate how ARES works, I just have to turn left and have a closer look on the menus, because we are already into ARES. So let's start by loading a file that I would like to show you. The file browser opens and we have a list of individual 3D CAD models. I'm searching for the one I would like to show you, which is called car frame. And as you can see, a loading cube is popping up. This loading cube is a really cool feature as it gives you a preview of the 3D model that will be shown right after you confirm it. In this case, it's a car frame with a few parts of a car. And on that loading cube, you also have different features to scale the object and to mirror it. So as you can see, for me, it's already in a good position. Let's have a look on how large it will get. Yeah, 1 to 10 is pretty small. I would actually like to see it in real size. So good. Let's go on 1 and 1. Position it in the room. And confirm it. And as you can see, I have a real size car right in front of me. So what can I now do with the car? So many of our customers are using ARES to do design reviews and to check on assembly processes and to collaborate with each other. And one of the biggest problems in the past was that they were unable to visualize the huge amounts of data they have usually in these 3D CAD models. As ARES is now fully streamed from the cloud, we have enough performance to visualize complex models like the one you are seeing right in front of you. So let's now check for some features that we have in ARES. So first of all, I would like to show you the exploded view. Therefore, I go to the Tools panel and I'm opening the explosion steps that I will lead later on. But before I can do that, I also need to highlight everything that I would like to explode. So I select the entire hierarchy. As you can see, the model became yellow, so it's highlighted. Let's now go a bit back. And now I will use the handle. And as you can see, everything explodes. And you can see that even some smaller screws and parts are part of this car. So the number of polygons is quite high. So let's go back. And that was the explosion feature. What else do we have in ARES? Let's have a closer look on the hierarchy. This hierarchy tree gives a list of all individual parts that we have in ARES. I can also highlight and hide parts. So let's now hide the body and the frame and have a look again. And what do we see now? We see the front axis and the back axis. So the different features of ARES allow us to create a really nice use cases. And one of them I would like to show you now. So let's assume I'm an engineer and I would like to work on the back axis of this car. And I need a few parts that I need to check on. So first of all, I would like to move the axis in the right position. So let's do that. And in order to do that, I can just have a look on the axis and use the quick hand menu, which is connected right to my hands. So if I turn my hands around, I can see a few features. And here on the right side, I have a feature called bounding box. And this bounding box allows me now to move objects in space. I can also rotate them. And here we go. Now I have it right in front of me. And now let's deactivate the bounding box. And next I would like to have a closer look on the brake disc that is right here behind this wheel. And I need to check whether I have enough space for my hands to go through this space. And one of the features I could use is now the measurement feature. So let's go to the Tools menu and activate Distance and Angle. And as you can see, I have now this little cross here connected to my finger. And if I put that right into position, confirm with the AirTap gesture, I can measure distances as well as angles. And this is a really cool tool to document and report on distances and angles. We can even change things afterwards if they are not in the right position. Okay. So as a next step, I will invite my colleague to help me with that situation. And therefore, I started a meeting. And if I now turn around, I should already see an avatar. So, hello, can you see me? Perfect. So what we can do now is we can communicate with each other and do this use case together. So one of the first things I would like to do is I would like to take that brake disc out and hand it over to my colleague. So in order to do that, let me check for the brake disc. Where is it? Is it now free? No, I would like to take the other one. Brake disc number 2. And now I will use the grab function. And if I do that, I can just go there and pick it out. And as you can see, with the grab functionality, I can very naturally interact with the 3D model. And now I will hand it over to my colleague, who can take it and give it back to me. Perfect. So this is a great way of collaborating together and having a closer look on the feature. And now let's go a step back and put the brake disc right into the place it was before. Okay, perfect. And now I would like to show you another feature, and therefore we will go back to the Tools panel and click on the button Cross Section. And here we have these 3 objects coming out. One of them is the so-called plane, and that plane allows me to slice through an object. So what I can do now is, by putting the plane through the object, we can cut away the parts we don't need at the moment. And I will use that to have a better view on the brake disc. So, but it's not just me who can interact with the panel. It's also my colleague who can take it over. Perfect. So this is really how it is to work in an industrial metaverse. So let's now do something as a next step and load a second file. Therefore, I go to the Files browser. And I would like to load a screwdriver, because as a next step, I would like to see whether I'm able to use the screwdriver to go right to the place where I needed to mount all the screws. So here, let's check. Okay. And with the second file that we loaded, the screwdriver, we will now check whether we will be able to mount different screws right on this axis. And in order to do so, I will highlight the tool. I will select it with the grab functionality. And I can naturally move it. But I'm not able to do that, so that's why I'm handing this over to my colleague. So perfect. So as you can see, you can build up several tasks during an automotive engineering process, which is very, very nice. And as a last step, we will now have a closer look on whether our hand collides with the different parts and whether we are able to put our hands right through the parts that are right around the wheel. And therefore, we have the so-called collision detection feature. It's a hand intersection. And so whenever I now touch another hologram with my hand, it should get red. So let me check whether I will be able now to put my hands right through this place. So you can see that I'm colliding here on the left side. So I really need to be careful of how I can put my hands through this part to check on an assembly process. Very nice features. And we have several more features that allow us to interact with 3D objects in AR and VR. But for now, I think I'm ready, so I will say goodbye to my colleague and jump back to some slides to show you a few real-world examples of how enterprise customers are working with this technology. So the first example that I want to talk about is the case study we did together with BMW Group. BMW is producing and manufacturing cars, and this product lifecycle is usually very long. And so it's just naturally that they want to do virtual prototyping. The advantage of doing virtual prototyping is that they can see designs and concepts much earlier than before, and they are able to save costs because they don't need to manufacture each and every part. And this is a great example because the data that BMW is working with, the CAD data, is usually very complex and large in size. And that's why in the past they always had to reduce the data, which was a lot of effort. And they had to do it because otherwise the quality of the visualization would have been very bad. And by streaming the entire 3D CAD models in an engineering scenario, they are able now to make design decisions up to 12 months earlier. They have a smooth workflow and they have cost savings for each prototype they are manufacturing. The second example I would like to show you is from the healthcare or medical sector. Our customer in Hatch is a company that provides an AI-based solution which allows surgeons to basically get a 2D image of a body part into a 3D image. And with the help of augmented reality, the planning process as well as the preparation for surgery gets accelerated and much better. So what Hatch is doing is they visualize complex data, and CT scans are very large and complex in size. So they need the streaming capabilities to visualize this content and support the surgeon during his surgeries. To summarize our product portfolio, beside the platform XR Now, which is our industrial metaverse and basically is a collection of all your AR/VR applications, we provide the technological backbone, our ISAR SDK, which enables the streaming of augmented and virtual reality applications. And then last but not least, we have ARES, our augmented reality engineering space, which is one application specifically for engineers and designers, allowing them to collaboratively work on their 3D models. It's one of our industrial metaverse applications. Okay, thank you very much for listening and for being part of our augmented reality talk. I hope you learned something about the industrial metaverse, about what streaming is capable of, and I hope you liked the presentation a lot. If you're interested, then reach out to us or reach out to our partner X Triple. And beside that, I wish you a nice event. Goodbye.